am more excited to have in the studio with me my special guest, my homeboy. Y'all might not know that, but Mr. Dennis Wilson Jr. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just ready to kind of rock and roll. Let's talk. Let's have
Let's
a good
do it.
conversation.
Let's do it. I'm going to turn around and face you. Yes, indeed. Listen, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And not just thank you for being here today, but just thank you for everything that you have done for the city of Buffalo. Thank you for things that you have done for me, because you have put me on a platform and let me shine, and I really do appreciate that. I really, really do. Happy birthday. I know you just celebrated yesterday. Probably not the normal celebration, but nevertheless, happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we had a 10-year run, so we're just going to take a little break, and then we'll be back at it next year.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Did you vote today?
Absolutely.
Okay. Did you vote today or did you vote early?
This morning.
This morning? Okay. Were you in line long?
Actually, no, it wasn't that long. We went as a family, went and voted, and we all went to the gym and did our thing.
Oh, okay. So you made a whole day out of it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Dennis, I know who you are, but tell everybody else who Dennis Wilson Jr. is.
I'm just I'm a son, I'm a husband, I'm a father. I kind of just live by the creed of trying to make my mother, my father, and my daughter proud. And not obviously my wife proud. And to me, if you do those things, everything else works itself out. So
that's the truth.
That's kind of my code.
That is the truth. Well, now you mentioned your wife, and I love your wife. She's doing her own thing. I won't give you too much because I plan to interview her as well. But tell us a little bit about that. Like, she's doing her thing, you're doing your thing. When you guys come together, is it chaos? Is it, what is it? What is it?
No, it's just match. Like, everything went together perfectly. Like, so we kind of met each other. We met each other prior, but when it was time for us to start our relationship, everything just fit. We were what each other needed. So awesome. Everything just flows. And, like, she has her things going on, and I have my things going on. And then when we time to take our breaks, our vacations, we go and enjoy ourselves, and then we get back to work. That's
awesome. You answered that question, because I'm like, when is it downtime? When is it downtime?
It's funny because the way things appear, that's not how it actually is. So
shiggity.
When we come home. So, I get off, I'm a teacher, so when I get off at 3 or whatever, 4 o'clock, when I come home, I'm relaxing, I'm chilling, what I mean? Obviously, I had to go to the Oak Room when we was open and whatever, but when we at home, we at home. And then we go on vacation, we relax. So the good part is, in our relationship, neither one of us had to change who we were. So I could be me, and she can be her. So it's never no turn on, turn off.
That's awesome. So. That is awesome. That's awesome. You slid in there that you were a teacher. I'm not sure if a lot of people know that. Yeah. They know Dennis. And see, for me, when I think of Dennis Wilson Jr., I say Dennis, and it's almost like when you say Patty, it's Patty LaBelle. Whitney is Whitney Houston. When you say Dennis in the city of Buffalo and the surrounding areas, they automatically know it's Dennis Wilson Jr. But Dennis, how long have you been teaching?
This is my 21st year.
Wait, 21 years in teaching? You ain't even old enough. What?
I started when I was young. I started substitute teaching first, and then I transitioned into being a full-time teacher. And 21 years later, here we are. So
21 years. What do you teach?
Right now, I teach printing and graphic design. So I'm certified in print and graphics. I'm certified in history. So I taught history for a long time, and so now I transition into something that I really enjoy and love. I have a degree in both, which ironically kind of worked out.
Right, it works out.
That's just kind of what my graphics is my love. I love doing graphics. I love creating. I love marketing. So, it kind of all worked out, man.
Nice. Now I brought the magazine that I was in. What made you start a magazine?
So, a couple of things. It actually was Will Houghton's idea.
Okay, so shout out to Will Houghton.
We were doing some work together, and he did some video footage, and he was like, we should do a video magazine. I'm like, I can do a actual magazine for the pictures and everything. So I got the pictures together, and we did one prior to this. I did one prior to this, and we released at the Oak Room. We did good. So then, obviously, one of my big events is Miami Nights. So Miami Nights transitioned from Templeton Landing to Riverworks. So the bill transition to double the cost. So I know
about that cost.
I was looking for ways to, and with the events, they're parties, but it's still a community aspect to it. So I'm always looking to spotlight people and to kind of push people businesses, and I wanted to do that with the event. And so I was able to create another stream of revenue, as well as create an opportunity for people to showcase people with the magazine. So that was the first publication, Miami Nights, and then we transitioned into Panoramic Magazine.
I'm just saying, you know. Awesome. So, okay, for me, when the 550 was open, I just knew that you owned the 550. And I'm sure quite a few other people thought you owned the 550. What was that about?
So I went to Canisius College, and one of my classmates was Tim Sanders. So his father is Bishop Sanders.
Right.
They own the building, and so Tim had been working on the building for some years, and I would go in there. This is when I was really party promoting. I'm like, Tim, let me get this. What's going on? Let me get it.
Wow.
And Tim, whatever it is, we just go back to playing. And then eventually, it had been sitting there, and they had designing and everything. And I came in and I started doing events, and then I kind of created the banquet hall. and then, probably had a good 4 or 5 year run. And then once I opened the Oak Room, I had to kind of exit because I was just too spread thin. I was Oak Room, I was 550, I was teaching, I was coaching basketball, and I was just killing my body. So I just had to kind of give up some things to,
so
take care of myself.
You went this way, and the 550 went that way.
Yeah, because that's not really Tim thing.
Okay.
But I've been talking to him. They actually redid the whole building.
Stop.
Yeah, so I don't want to put nothing out there, but
right.
It's a possibility that he may open it back up or for special things.
It's a very nice hall. I had my 40th birthday there.
I remember.
Awesome. Throw that out there, Chubb Rock. Yeah, so that'd be awesome because we need more halls. We definitely need more halls. So before we go to a commercial break, this is Real Talk, so we're going to get into some real talk when we come back. And if you haven't voted, make sure you still got some time, so go out there and vote. We'll be right back.
Buffalo's WDAP Radio Speaker.com.
What's good, Buffalo family? Sexy Red here. I will be live on the David Allen Show. I am so honored and so excited. I'm coming home soon. Stay tuned.
Buffalo's WDAP Radio. Music you grew up with and love to hear.
Hey guys, this is Lily in the Mix. Stay tuned for my upcoming show. My show will be airing on Facebook and YouTube and on channel 1302 on Tuesdays. Thank you for your support and I hope you watch the show.
Mr. Dennis Wilson Jr. Again, thank you so much for taking time out your busy schedule. So now we're going to get into the nitty gritty to everything. But first and foremost, how has COVID affected everything?
It's huge. So obviously the first part, you just got to break. I mean, after, the Oak Room, we were 9 years straight. The events 10 years straight. It was just, even in school, you just got to kind of like and after the first month, now it started going into okay, what's going on here? So now, as far as the Oak Room, once we closed actually our 9th anniversary was like probably our last day, and then since then we decided not to reopen until things get kind of more regular. Just because in the Oak Room, we were still in the heart of the East Side. We deal with a different dynamic than a lot of restaurants and social places, and we're really social.
Right.
So when you kind of take out that element and then you start talking about the rules enforcement, it was going to be too much. It was going to be too stressful. So we decided to kind of just wait it out. Personally, obviously, my big events, I got to a point where my events are 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 people.
Easy.
This year we was anticipating over 3,000 people. So to lose those, you know what I mean? So
just briefly, just momentarily.
Yeah,
they're not going nowhere.
It's a break, but then too, when we was doing our taxes, and you figure out like, okay, whoa, I lost half my income from last year.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So the blessing is that we still have our household together. It didn't affect my life.
Right.
But, you know, all the extra stuff, you know, the community stuff, like, you know, we used to do the happy hour every week.
That's so ironic because that was one of the last events, because I was honored. Dennis, when I was saying putting people on it was my birthday, and putting people on platforms, he did honor entrepreneurs, and I was one of the entrepreneurs, and it happened to be my birthday weekend, and it was packed. And just to think, like 2 weeks later, you were like, you can't be around anybody, and completely shut down. It blew my mind. But I was just so thankful because that was something that I carried over into COVID, you know, remembering how awesome it was. You know what I mean? So I kind of figured that. So, yeah, I'm hoping and praying that 2021 is definitely a better year.
I'm prepared. I'm ready for it. You know, we're ready for, you know, we already been talking to the venues. You know, we got things lined up. So it's just hard to plan because you just don't, you plan for the unknown. So
Right. It's ironic that you're here on presidential voting day because you hold one of, or the biggest event, the Black presidential event. I saw something posted today or yesterday that it's coming up. Is it next year?
Yeah, so it was supposed to be coming up this Saturday, obviously, year 11, but can't do it. So we already talked to the conference center in Niagara Falls. I talked to the Sheridan. I'm hoping to have a meeting with the casino later on, because obviously after the event we all go to the casino and for the whole weekend, and then my wife with the nurses because they do their ball. Right. So we ready for next year. We ready for it. We ready for Miami Nights next year, the fashion show. So you know, we had a big contingent from Rochester that was coming heavy this year. Ooh. So especially with a lot of the models and people, we had some. One of my friends, he has a clothing line from Detroit. He was going to be in the fashion show. I've been begging him to come to get in the fashion show, and he's going to bring his line, which is phenomenal. He's been in it for 20 years.
Oh, so my goodness! I think you're going to have even more than you even anticipated because everybody's going to be ready to come out. So now everybody, even more. And you mentioned something about a clothing line. You're wearing your brand. Now I say this because it's Diva Talks Live. So I was reading some comments when you were asking because I do have the sweatshirt, and when I tell you I wear a 2X or a 3X, and Dennis was like, no, you can fit an extra large. I'm like, yeah, right. Brought it over and I fit in that extra large. I mean, this is a good brand of clothing. But it brings me to some people were making comments when you were asking about the brand and how it was that they're used to the Dennis Wilson being dressed up, this, that, and the other, and not used to the Dennis Wilson with the sweatshirts and the hoodie. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So, one of the things with COVID, when COVID first started, I told people that I wanted to, I put a thing up in things that you should do during this period of time. So, one of the checklists was not just let this time just go by the waste. Right. So, one of the things I created, because I was sitting in the house, was I created a clothing line. And it was supposed to be part of the fashion show and the event. So it was kind of catered to the event. So now me creating a clothing line, like, remember I lost half my income. So you can't expect me to come out with tuxedos and, you know, high fashion, you know. And then too, I wear hoodies and I play basketball. I was a Division I basketball player. So a lot of people see you in a certain light, but they don't know all of you. So as much as I wear, and I don't even wear shirt and ties as much, but you know, I might wear a turtleneck, but I wear a sweatsuit just as much. So you know, I kind of started with the hoodies, t-shirts, and then you know, see how they go and see how things go, and just learn the fashion game, learn the clothing. You know, people want you to jump out of there and they just say you should do this, you should do that, but they never did it. So once you do it, then you start to understand stuff. And now, like, I'm understanding that. Do I know everything? No, I don't know. Christelle Prince is one of my great friends. He know everything in the fashion. I don't know a quarter of what he know. You know, so for me to just jump out and go crazy, like, no, start it slow. You know, you start with a t-shirt, start with a sweatshirt, and then you kind of move up. And then go from there. So now I got some new stuff coming in. It's gonna be fire, and they're gonna be like, "Wow!"
See, you. I don't know. You say you have downtime, and I know that you and your wife do have downtime. And I laugh because when you go places, you say it's a secret location, and I love that. I love that. And but you're constantly working, and I think you're a lot like me and my husband. You're down, but you're thinking.
Oh, always. It's hard for me to stop thinking. So sometimes I had to really detach, and that's why when we travel a lot. So people would think, oh man, you just going out, you showing out. Like, no, like I need a break, especially from the Oak Room. When people don't understand when you're an owner, everybody that work for you, their problems is your problems. So there was no downtime. My phone was always on. So sometimes you just need that time just to get away from everything, not pick up your phone, not just get away. And so that's what those things were. To give me a chance to release,
just to release.
Relax.
So your workers,
Mm-hmm.
I know some of them have been with you for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
How is that with you being Dennis? You being an African American male from Buffalo, New York. Owning a lot of different things. I know people think they deserve a handout, or they just, how does that work for you and your employees, and keeping the friendship in that separate?
Honestly, it's kind of easy because we always set those boundaries before. Like, I always set those boundaries. My friends, they're kind of like my support system. I'm going to say my staff, a lot of my staff is my support system.
Okay.
So we kind of grew, and they see the development. So, like, Diane has been at the Oakland since day one.
Yes.
So, when Diane first started, Diane would stand in the corner, like, because Diane wasn't a bartender when she first started. Now she's probably one of the best bartenders.
Shout out.
Yeah. So, we all just seen each other grow, and then we kind of keep pushing each other. So Kurt, my partner, he pushes me probably just as much as Rhonda pushes me.
Okay.
Vice versa, I'm pushing him. He's doing his financial management, so I'm pushing him to do different things, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of like a synergy, and so everybody is pushing each other. The younger ones, we making sure get your degree, get your business. It's not just sit here and just become a bartender and talk to the dudes all day.
Right. Well, we're going to go into another commercial break, but I want you to think about a few things. The non-supporters, because I don't like to use the word haters, and what's next for Dennis. So after this commercial break, we'll get that, and we'll see what he has to say. The man that wears many hats. Thank you so very much. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for coming back with us. Today, my special guest is none other. I like to just say Dennis. When I say Dennis, you automatically know Dennis Wilson Jr., the man that wears many, many hats and stays right here in the city of Buffalo. What he is doing is putting Buffalo on the map, and you're bringing the money into Buffalo, and you're keeping it into Buffalo. And so we appreciate that. But one of the things that, obviously, what comes with success comes the non-supporters. Some people like to call them haters. I don't even like to use the word hate, but how do you handle the non-supporters, the ones who always have something to say but nothing to offer?
At first, it was tough. So when I first started doing events, Good Life, and that success started hitting, and then you start seeing people acting differently. Even some people that's close to you start seeing things, kind of moving differently. But it's just kind of like I reached out to. I remember I reached out to Crow. Like, how did you deal with this? I reached out to. I think I used to talk to Wallace a lot. From the Nugget. Just picking their brain, just getting, and then you just kind of just continue success. DT will always say, man, kill him with success. So I just kind of just kept doing what I'm doing, and then now I have my hands in a lot of different things. So somebody might not buy a T-shirt, but they may go to the Oakland and eat. They might not like the magazine, but they will go to the party. So sometimes I gotta just kind of humble myself and say, you know what, that might not be their thing.
Right.
But like, I'm not gonna look at you when you eating your dinner and be like, man, you ain't like us. So it's not. No, you know what I mean. So I kind of just look at it and I laugh. I do go on Facebook and the social medias and read. I see who say what, and the little smart comments and the little slick stuff. So that way I just at least know who I'm dealing with.
Right.
But honestly, as long as it's not something that's going to physically affect me or my family, I don't really try to worry about it too much. I just kind of laugh and
good. That's good.
Then too, once you get to certain levels, like you can't worry about all this other stuff. You'll be caught in that. And honestly, I'm trying to go up, so I'm trying to hang with the Shamari Jameses.
James speak it. You better speak
They
it.
just opened a school out in Maryland, D.C. area.
Yes.
So
I saw you there. Okay.
Yeah. So to me, when I'm around people like that, we're not sitting there talking about what somebody else said. We're talking about what we're trying to do. So I'm trying to do, whether it's buy property, whether it's invest, whether it's, you said what's coming next. I got some stuff coming next.
Yes,
so that's what I'm worried about. I don't really worry about what other people say and, the negative stuff too much.
And that's, I know that to be true because I've known you for a very long time. A lot of people might not know this, but I remember when you did Corey's rap on his van, and DJ Corey, you did that, and that you were Dennis, before you became Dennis Wilson, and it's funny because a couple of people, when you put me in the magazine, he was like, well, why did he pick you? I don't ever see you this, that, and that. I'm glad that you spoke on that because you don't always have to see the person, and that's what I love about you because you're not just picking people who may come to your parties or may come to. You're picking people based on what they're doing and how successful they are, and things of that nature. So I appreciate you for doing that.
I have it's a teacher, a friend of mine, and he asks me every time he see me, "What's going on at the restaurant?" He never comes, but he tells somebody else all the time. So it's like you can't get mad. Like I never get mad at somebody not coming to an event. That's an option. You don't have to come. You might not be a party here. Hopefully in the future I have some other things for you to come to or enjoy yourself. You might come on a trip. One of my employees, Ivory, she don't really come to the parties. When we went to London, she was the first one with a deposit. You know what I mean? Travel, I'm there.
Yes.
So it's just like I could have got mad like you don't come to the events, I'm gonna fire you. Like no, that's what she enjoyed doing. So and we appreciate it, we love it. So
And I haven't even scratched the surface of what all this man does because the trips, you do the trips and you do DC and New York and London and where the bills travel. You have so much going on. I mean, your daughter has a brand.
Yep, a skincare
Talk to me
line.
about that.
So she started all of her own. Like I didn't have nothing to do with her starting her business this summer. And
she's been watching you.
And her mom. Her mom is an entrepreneur too.
Nice.
And so she, she started it. Obviously we help and try to assist where we can, but it's her brainchild. She had eczema and she created a product to, for her skin, and it's actually doing well. And she actually in Charlotte this weekend. At the open air, it's like a market. Okay. And she did last week. She's gonna do this week, and she's gonna continue doing it. And
what's the name of it?
Her name is Clean Beauty, and it's cleanbeautyclt.com. That's the
awesome.
website.
I love it. I don't know what could possibly be next, but before you tell us what's next, could you tell us at least one thing that people may not know about Dennis?
One thing they may not know about me. That's a good one. I'm pretty quiet. I think most people who know me personally know that. No, you know what? I know what it is. Some people think I'm super serious, and I'm not. Like, if you around me, we literally have a good time. So, we have a ball. Like, I'm with my cousins. We enjoying ourselves, and I'm a regular person. So a lot of times people see you and you getting your business done. They just think you so uptight and like, honestly, no. Like, I really have a good time. And two, I don't prejudge people. Okay. I don't care what you do and everything. So, like, however you are, I appreciate you for who you are. Sometimes people let other people's opinion of them judge them, and I try not to do that. And it was a couple times I did do that, and I apologize because I was wrong. Okay. And so I try not to
apology is always
prejudge people, and I'm open. Like, whoever you are, wherever your personality is, sometimes it don't match, and that's cool. But for the most part, I get along with everybody, and
Wow, that's that. You know what? I know that a couple of people in your family, Phil, which I'm actually going to be having him on the show as well. He is a comedian. So if you're around him, and I know that you did some of the dinner we did at the 550, we did a lot of those shows, which I won't steal that shine because I know we're going to talk a little bit about that. But when you have cousins who are comedians, you can't help but laugh.
My family is, and they talk about you to death. So it's like you gotta have thick skin. Right. They talk about you, your mother. Hopefully,
And your grandma, she's funny, and she's what? How old is your grandmother?
94.
Grandmother's 94, and baby, let me tell you, she is at every event. She is supporting. I mean, she is. You're so blessed, so blessed. So Dennis, what's next?
So we trying to work on. Obviously, I don't want to just do parties. I want to do other events. So whether it be some conferences, whether it be festivals. Me and Chris Del Prince actually talked about doing something together on a big community scale. So that's something I want to do. Another thing I want to do is it's kind of like I'm trying to put it out there. It's the event called Pink Sunday. Okay. It's kind of like a wine and rosé fest. Okay. But it's more of a festival as opposed to a party. So I kind of. As you get older, you don't want to stay out as late no more.
Tell me about it. I'm scheduling. I'm at work. I get off at 5:30. I know by 7:30, 8 o'clock, 10, I'm sleeping.
Yeah. So create those things. Obviously, want to do more trips. Trips and We did the yacht party in Miami last year, so hopefully we get back to following the bills, and I got my fingers crossed. I want the bigger yacht next time. So
you got it. You definitely have it. My goodness. So, well, Dennis, I really, really appreciate you coming, being my first guest. And I mean, I laughed when you sent me your resume, and I emailed you back, and I said, I'm gonna need a 3-part series.
I mean, we can come back.
we definitely.
Because the show always gonna get better and better
Absolutely,
and better. So,
yes.
Like this magazine was the first one.
Yes.
Now the next one's better. So I'm like, gotta get you in there again.
So I'm excited, and I'm humbled, and I am so thankful that you took time out of your schedule to be my first guest, and you definitely will be back, because when I tell you this man's resume, you have no idea. We have a lot to go over, so we suck it all in 28, 30 minutes, but we got it done, and it's the first show. It's going to go down in history, and so thank you so much for coming out and being our guest. Is there anything that you want to tell the people?
Well, at this point, everybody should have went and vote, and let's continue to support each other. That's all. Like, it doesn't take much to support each other and say good things, and that's about it. Just love.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. To my audience, this was the first show. Yes, you already know, the first show. I have some very special people that I need to thank. I definitely need to thank my assistant, Maureen Keith, my stylist, makeup artist, none other than Sharon. We call her Shay Terry. The man behind the camera, the DA on the case, the doc, the other man on the camera, Anthony Wright. Nothing is perfect. Things happen, and hey, listen, it is what it is. I appreciate you joining us. Before I do go, the shirt that I am wearing, I have to shout out my cousin all the way in North Carolina. Yes, Rashandra Thomas, absolutely. The mug says it all. Be still and know. And that is in Psalms 46:10. Thank you so much, life coach Danietta Peach. Absolutely, absolutely. None other. It says you never know who you are inspiring. You never know. So make sure you do your best all the time. Give your best. And like Jenna said, support, support, support. And last but certainly not least, my girl, author, Shannon Spruill. Support. This is her 10th book. 10th. And it's called My Imperfections. You have to look her up. She is on Facebook, and she's also on Amazon.com. I am all about supporting that TV. Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm just excited. It's my very first show. I hope you would join me again. Thank you for taking time out to watch me. If you're not happy, you can't make anyone else happy. So make sure you find your happy space. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good night.